Good day, dear students, and welcome back. Yesterday, if you remember, we did a poem about the monsoon bird, and we looked at how this bird is responsible for telling Indians, at least, that it is about to rain or it's going to rain really soon, or that the monsoons are here. And today we have another monsoon poem, but only the difference here is this particular poem is written by a Nigerian. So our poet here, that is Pius Olik, is a Nigerian, and what he's created here is, you know, the response of the Nigerian people to a sudden storm. So how do they respond to it? How does a certain age group of people respond to a sudden storm? Okay, so it has this typical Nigerian, ways of life that it depicts, and a typical Nigerian attitude as well. Okay, so let's quickly look at the poem. We'll read it once, and then we'll look at the meaning of it. All right. So we have in the first stanza here, the wind howls, the trees sway, the loose housetop sheets clatter and clang. The open window shuts with a bang, and the sky makes night of day. Helter-skelter the parents run, pressed with 1,000 minor cares. Hey, you there, pack the household wares, and where on earth is my son? Home skip the little children. Where have you been, you naughty boy? The child can feel nothing but joy, for he loves the approach of the rain. The streets clear, the houses fill. The noise gathers as children shout to rifle the raging wind without, and naught that can move is still. A bright flash, a lighted plain, then from the once blue heavens, accompanied by noise that deafens, steadily pours the rain. And that is it. So if you see, it's actually a very simple poem and very surface level meaning that it has to it. But let's quickly try and see, what is it that he tells us here. Okay, like I said, he's a Nigerian poet. So let's just imagine a very Nigerian setup. The society is Nigerian. It is the geography obviously is Nigerian. So let's see. All right. So in the first stanza, what we have is the wind howls. Okay, howls is a very nice word, and it means that you know this. When it comes to a storm, you can hear the sound of the wind, like it's as if the wind is screaming. Okay, so that when there is a storm, this is a clear indication. The first is the sound of the wind. It is so strong, so loud. So this is what happens here as well. The wind howls, the trees sway. Again, the trees have been there for so long; they're very strong, and some of them are very high as well. But when they start swaying, especially coconut trees, you know that a storm is here. The wind is so strong that the trees are swaying with it. The loose housetop sheets clatter and clang. Okay, housetop sheets. We are really talking about. These are not tiled roofs. These are more of like how we have these in Konkani. You say the patro that you put on top of your houses. And again, if you use patro on top of your houses, it's not. It's somewhere down the line that it is not someone from a very affluent family that will do that, right? So here again, we're talking about this group of very simple, uh, uh, you know, they're not very well-to-do kind of people, and they've got these roofs made of the patro that we say, and it is so bad. The wind is so bad outside that these housetop sheets clatter and clang. Clatter and clang is basically they move because of the wind. They don't move out completely, but they move a little bit and they make that noise. It's almost like as if it's threatening to fly off with the wind. Okay, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about here. It's just the patra making that sound because of the force of the wind. Okay, then. But again, it tells you the kind of the financial background of these people, and what kind of a society this really is. Then the open window shuts with a bang. Okay, so again the window is open, but the force of the wind is so much that it just shuts, and then we've all been, we witnessed this, right? It happens in India as well. And the sky makes night of day. So suddenly it was, it was bright, but suddenly now it is dark. Okay, it feels like as if it's night. Okay, the sky makes night of day. So the sky is so dark that it feels like it is night, and that is when you know that a storm is approaching. Okay, then we move on. What else do we have? It says here, helter skelter the parents run, pressed with 1,000 minor cares. Hey, you there, pack the household wares, and where on earth's my son? Now, everyone knows that it's going to rain, it's going to be a storm, it's going to be rain as well as wind, as well as thunder and lightning and everything together. So it is pretty dangerous, right? So, how do parents, how do the adults respond to a situation like that? So first of all, helter skelter the parents run. Helter skelter simply means they run here and there, nothing up. You know that when you're in a hurry, you don't know what to do. So you're running here and there, you're taking this, you're trying to protect it, you're keeping it inside, bringing everything else, trying to make sure that everyone is safe and every item of yours is also safe. Everything that you own is safe. Right, so parents are busy with that. They're running here and they're trying to protect all their, you know, possessions, and pressed with 1,000 minor cares. Pressed means they're kind of burdened with 1,000 minor cares. Minor cares means small responsibilities that they have, but they have so many things to take care of because, say, suppose they've got animals outside, then they have to make sure that the animals are safe, that if they have any other items that they keep outside which can fly with the wind, they have to make sure they bring all of it and keep it in some place safe. So they have a lot of minor responsibilities that they're burdened with, so that is what they're thinking about. Okay, then to add to it, they have, hey, you there, pack the household waste. So it's, they are talking to each other or they're talking to their children, but they are just telling the other family members, please pack the household waste. That means it looks like in this particular society, the people have the habit of keeping their utensils or other household or daily items that they use outside the house. It is that kind of a society, that level of social ranking. So now if you have your pots and pans and other items that you use daily in your house, if you keep it outside during a storm, you know that it is going to fly away and it's going to break. Okay, none of it will remain. So especially a community like this needs to protect all of it and needs to take it and keep it inside the house where it is safer. Okay, so they have to pack it up. So many different things are there to be done. So, and the storm can come at any time, so in a hurry they're trying to pack everything up and safeguard all of their items. Okay, and then to add to it, they say, and where on earth my son, because their children are also important here. So they are taking care of their other possessions, their, maybe their cattle, maybe these pots and pans that they have, but also their children. They have to make sure that the children are safe. That is how the parents look at the storm. But next stanza we have, home skip the little children, where have you been, you naughty boy? The child can feel nothing but joy, for he loves the approach of the rain. Okay, so the children, while the parents are full of burdens and worries and trying to protect everything, trying to protect the children also, the children do not worry about anything. They are just happy that the wind is so strong and there's so much of noise outside, there's so much of excitement around, that they are just enjoying the moment. They just love the fact that there's going to be a storm and there's going to be there's going to be rain. Okay, so so the children slowly they come back home because the parents are calling out to them. So home skip the little children, they're jumping and they're playfully coming back home. Where have you been, you naughty boy? So parents are asking them, where have you been? You're so naughty, you should be responsible. Look at how dangerous the situation is outside. But the child can feel nothing but joy. Child is not scared. Child is not worried. Child is not upset. Child is not burdened. He only feels joy. He only feels happy. Why? For he loves the approach of the rain. The child loves the rain. Okay? So he's excited about the rain. Alright? Now let's move on. What else? What else are the effects of a sudden storm to a group of people or the society? We are told the streets clear, the houses fill. Now this is a very interesting expression. Streets clear, that means all the people that were outside on the streets, maybe going about doing their job, suddenly they realize that it is too bad, we can't move. The wind is too much. It is not safe to be outdoors. Trees can fall, anything can fall. It's just not safe to stay outdoors. We have to move inside. So the streets clear, because people have emptied the streets, and the houses fill because people have gone from the streets to their own respective houses. Okay, so that is again the impact of the storm. Okay, the noise gathers as children shout to rival the raging wind without. Now, while the houses get filled, the noise also gathers. So parents are here and they're trying to give instructions, bring everything safely inside. But at the same time, so there's that noise. But at the same time, children are also shouting. And why are the children shouting? They're shouting to rival the raging wind without. Rival means almost to compete. And raging wind, raging is that strong and noisy kind of wind. So the children, out of excitement and joy for the rain, they just scream just out of the excitement. They scream so loudly because they want to be louder than the sound of nature or the sound of the storm. Okay, so again they're just having fun. They're enjoying every bit of it. Okay, and then so there's that noise that is going on. One is the nature's noise, one is the people's noise. And then we are told, and not that can move is still. Not is just old English, it simply means nothing. And nothing that can move is still. So everything from animals to humans, if they can move, then they're moved, and they're all you know yeah, it says that, and not that can move is still. So they're just moving around, they're moving to safety, moving, taking care of things inside. So everyone is moving. Okay, nothing is still, that is inside the house. Okay, then a bright flash, a lighted plane. A bright flash, it simply means the flash of lightning. Okay, you all know this. When you see lightning, you will be able to see the entire land. Even if you have no electricity, every time lightning strikes, the flame or the flash is so, you can say, bright that you will be able to see the entire area around you. Okay, so it is that kind of a situation. It's probably quite dark because they've lost power supply by now. So they can see a bright flash, a lighted plane is just the land that they have. Okay, so the plane gets lighted because of the light of the lightning. Then from the once blue heavens, once blue skies, the once bright skies, accompanied by noise that deafens. Accompanied by noise that deafens is simply referring to thunder. Thunder is so loud that it is almost, it is too loud. They are almost going deaf with that sound. Okay, steadily pours the rain. So finally the rain starts with the lightning, the thunder, and finally the rain. First there was just the breeze. Okay, so and that is how there is a storm, and that is how the storm begins. Okay, so it's a sudden storm. Always remember this, the word is sudden storm. So the parents were not really prepared for the situation. It just happened all of a sudden that the situation got quite bad, and they knew that there's going to be a storm. Okay, so what is their reaction to a sudden storm? How they hurry up to protect their belongings and their children, and how they react to the situation as opposed to how their children react to the situation. And that is pretty much the poem. Okay, so in the next recording we are going to be looking at the figures of speech. Thank you.